5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Wellness Week Live. I am your host, DJ Tony. How you doing? ¿Cómo está? On today's episode, what is alcohol? So we're doing a special series, the What Is series, and we're going to talk about what is marijuana, what is cocaine, what is alcohol. That's today's episode. But I wanted to do these episodes and these segments because, look, whether we do drugs or not, they're around us. Family members struggle. We're not immune to this in some shape, form, fashion, or way, or have experiences with it. So, anyways, let me just get the disclaimers out of the way first, okay? I'm not giving any medical advice. I'm not a doctor. I'm a DJ. I always check with the healthcare professionals. All right. And what else? Always hear that. Right. And yes, I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I've never have. I don't, and I don't plan on doing so. So, just FYI. Okay. Let's get right into it. I have my study here, or my research right here on what is alcohol. Let's go. All right. So, also, I'm not saying let's go back to prohibition. I'm not saying make alcohol illegal. Okay. I'm not saying that. Although, if you look at the numbers, every 12 months, 140,000 Americans die from alcohol. More than cocaine, more than heroin, more than crack, more than vaping, more than fentanyl. 10 times more. So more people die of alcohol every 12 months than anything else. But again, I'm not saying make it illegal. Okay. You can wonder why that is, but that's another show. Tax money. Okay. So, but let's move on. Okay. So let's go all the way back to history. Okay. So, alcohol, its first recorded use of it or invention of it, is 7,000 BC. 7,000 years before Christianity. Before Islam, before maybe Judaism, but so 7,000 years before Christianity. That's how far back liquor and alcohol go. So it's been around, and it ain't going anywhere. And it's interesting because we're going to get into the how, what, when, where, why, and again, look, I get it. You go to a wedding, it's New Year's Eve. I'm all for it. To have a toast, but like I said, I don't drink. I'm not someone I've by choice. I've never been buzzed. I've never been drunk. And again, I grew up in an Italian family. We've had wine on the table since I was freaking a toddler. You know what I mean? So it's not that I don't have a drink, but I'm not like going out for the weekend or I got to wine out. I got to wind down every day. I have a drink after. So, but again, you do you, I do me. I'm just giving you my observations, and you do what you want with that. Okay, but alcohol is a serious problem. 140,000 Americans die. Again, and we're going to revisit this number again, but that's like 10 towns, 10 municipalities disappearing every 12 months. No one bats an eyelash. Wouldn't that be a problem? Okay. So, and if it seems like I have a stick up my ass about alcohol, I do, because I've lost friends and family to beer only. I've stared down at a coffin of a friend of mine, and he died from beer. Period. And I still struggle with that because it's just like, wow. And this person wasn't a bum, wasn't a loser, was very successful, had his shit together. But, he had a problem. And like I said, I stared down at that coffin all because of beer, period. So, so yeah, I have a problem with that. And that's just one friend. I've lost many friends to alcohol only. And I know of friends and people that I know of that are struggling with beer, wine, martinis, whiskeys, bourbons, margaritas, sangrias. We can laugh, but they're struggling, and it's because of alcohol. So, okay. So let's do this now. So how is alcohol made? Now, call me a novice in naivete, but obviously, well, I don't know if it's obvious, but I thought probably like everybody, it's like, yeah, alcohol's alcohol. I don't know. Beer's beer. They make the beer. They make the beer. When I looked into it, it's a 5-year-old can make alcohol. It's that easy. All you need is yeast and fruit, or yeast and vegetables, or yeast and grain. That's it. You ferment it. That's the core of it. Now, obviously, I'm oversimplifying it, but that is the core. You need yeast and you need a vegetable, or you need yeast and you need fruit, or you need yeast and you need grain. And obviously, the minutiae are a little bit more, nuanced, but that's it. So no wonder why it's been around for 7,000 plus years. I mean, it's pretty easy to make. And so I was kind of blown away by how easy it was. I thought I was going to find some like 10-page concoction on how one would make alcohol. No, it's yeast in vegetables, or yeast in fruit, or yeast in grain. All right. So if you look in the dictionary, because I was like, yeah, what is alcohol? You know, because again, we all know alcohol, like, it's a beer, it's a wine, it's vodka, it's alcohol. But what is it? If you go and look in the dictionary, I'm going to read it right here. This is insane. What is alcohol? Alcohol is a volatile, flammable liquid that is produced from fermentation. The first, really, the second and third words are volatile and flammable. That's what y'all drinking out there. And again, I'll have a toast for, a mitzvah or a wedding or a birthday. But I mean, if you're drinking this weekly, you're drinking volatile, flammable liquids. Okay. And so you might ask yourself, if you're not a drinker, and I often ask myself, and I kind of know why. We know why people drink, right? People drink because, A, it makes you happy, lowers your, inhibitions. It makes you relaxed. You get a little courage, a little beer muscle, to ask the girl to dance. Hey, no. So I get it, right? Anybody, people drink alcohol, right? For that reason. It's associated with good times and laughter and dancing. That's true. Problem is the downside. What happens? We all know, right? You get that hangover. And that's the least of your problems. You dehydrate, you're groggy, wake up, the headache, But alcohol, as you probably know, has a lot more very serious, insidious, problems to it. You're dealing with the devil. And so we're going to get into that. So aside from running your car into a tree, that's a problem. But what I think people don't realize is the alcohol deaths are more like slowly running your car into a tree. And that is because every time you drink alcohol, you get a little bit of, and I'm phrasing it this way, but every time you drink alcohol, you get a little bit of cancer, so to speak. Every time you drink alcohol, you get a little bit more of a heart attack risk, to the cancer risk, the heart attack risk. So this is interesting. So when you drink alcohol, and by the way, ladies, if you like your hair and your skin to be amazing, get off the apple martinis. Like, alcohol ruins skin. Alcohol ruins hair. If you think your hair and skin is great now, wait till you get off the alcohol. It's going to be amazing. Guys, you like those beer muscles? You think you're big? You're even bigger and stronger if you got off the alcohol. Alcohol suppresses and destroys muscle, suppresses and destroys skin, hair, nails, amongst everything else. But okay, so it's a slow kill. But here's how it does that. It's not the alcohol itself. So when you drink alcohol, it gets broken down into two enzymes. Okay, so the two enzymes are ADH and ALDH, and that's an acronym for, don't even ask me because it's some blah, 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 blah. But in essence, the cliff notes are, every time you take a sip of alcohol, your body has to break down this alcohol. So the byproduct, after it's broken down, now you have these two enzymes that cause cancer and that cause, you name it, everything else. Heart risk, heart disease, all that stuff. So that's the problem. So every sip, your body produces ADH and ALDH after your body processes that liquor. So the byproduct is a carcinogenic every single time, every sip. So you don't have to drink a whole liter. Every little sip, a little more cancer risk. Every little sip, a little more cancer risk. A little more destruction of your hair, skin, nails, and muscles. So it's a slow, it's like a python. And before you know it, it's too late. But the damage is not happening like, oh, yeah, I'm going to drink, maybe something will happen in 30 years. No, it's happening now. Okay, so that I thought was interesting, that the breakdown of those two enzymes, or when our body breaks it down, those two enzymes happen. Okay, so moving on. Notice I haven't talked about sugar, though, yet. And I think I was actually guilty. I thought, hey, alcohol raises the sugar, makes it more sugar. No, what alcohol does is the inverse. So when you're drinking alcohol, it suppresses your liver. So it suppresses the liver's workload, or suppresses the liver's ability to regulate sugar. So that's the problem. It's not necessarily that the alcohol is, making sugar or has sugar, which it does, but it's minuscule. It's the alcohol's, ability to suppress, to tap down the liver function, which is throwing your body's ability to regulate sugar out of whack. That's why alcohol and sugar, I say, or the process of managing it in the body gets thrown out of whack because you're suppressing it every time you drink alcohol. Okay. So, but I would say um, the acute problem from alcohol is this: running your car into a tree, running your car into a minivan of children. That's the problem. That's a big, big problem. Uh, that's the most acute problem. But like I said, you got the cancer risk. Listen, if you don't want throat cancer, stop drinking alcohol. But so let's talk about the deaths. So like I said before, I alluded to it. 140,000 people every 12 months die from alcohol related or running the car into the tree or liver cancer or whatever. 140,000 people. Just to put that in context, 19,000 people died last year from cocaine related and cocaine overdose. 19,000. 140,000. That's over 10 times more alcohol deaths than cocaine deaths. I don't know. No one bats an eyelash, but okay. So I would say that let's talk about really the 800-pound gorilla in the room, and that is what is alcoholism. I think when I thought of alcoholism, I think of like, oh, the dude's he's living in his cardboard box and he's, got the beard and he smells like shit and, he's homeless. And yeah, that could be an alcoholic. But I think what's more dangerous is the functioning alcoholic or someone who has a alcohol habit that is, because being an alcoholic is not black or white. It's not, oh, I'm the person living in the cardboard box in the street, alcoholic. Everybody else, they're not alcoholics. Doesn't work like that. Alcohol, like any addiction or any drug problem, is a spectrum, is a scale, is so it's not black and white. I would make the argument that a lot more, I'd say millions of more people are struggling with alcohol and they're alcoholics and don't even know it. Now, depending on what definition you look at, but I would make the argument that if you are drinking weekly and you don't remember a week where you didn't drink, you got an alcohol problem. Simple. And it doesn't have to be, again, oh, well, I'm not the guy in the cardboard box. I'm not homeless. It doesn't have to be that. I know people who have jobs, they make a lot of money and they're hurting. It's bad, and eventually the house is going to win. The devil's going to call his cards in, and you don't know when. It could be in another half hour. It could be another year. It could be in 10 years. I don't know. Alcohol decides that when you make that deal every time you drink. So I think that alcoholism, again, is a scale, is a spectrum. And I think that if you're drinking weekly, and especially if it's a daily thing, and I'm not saying you're getting shit-faced, but if you can't remember a week where you didn't have alcohol, I would make the argument you got a problem and you need help. And why not get ahead of it now? What are you going to do? Wait until you're in the cardboard box underneath the bridge? It's too late then. Get ahead of it now. And so, because you have most of your wits about you, you have your relative success. And I would say, you know what? If you ask your family or friends, does so-and-so have a problem with alcohol? If they go, well, if they hesitate, you got a problem with alcohol. So, like anything else, I would say that that it's hard to look in the mirror and say you have a problem with anything. I don't care if it's a relationship problem, a drug problem, alcohol problem, a problem with work, a problem with friend, whatever it is. It's hard to look in the mirror and say, I have a problem. But I'm asking you to please get ahead of it. You deserve better. And especially if you have family, and we all do, you have children, they deserve better. When they see mommy or daddy, winding down every single night with alcohol, you don't know how your kid's going to process that when they're older. You don't know, God forbid, your child has the predisposition to be an addict and you're laying that foundation down. So, it's, I would implore you and ask you to please go get help. And we're going to talk about that too. Like, what is help? And we all need help, whether you're drinking alcohol or not. This is not a joke. Alcohol is not water. Alcohol is not candy. Alcohol is a very, very, and I think we should see it like this too. And again, I'm not saying, let's go back to prohibition, but alcohol should be respected. It should be feared. It should be revered. It should be, really used with caution. It's not, again, it's not a bonbon. It's not a chocolate bar. This is serious stuff that kills 140,000 Americans every 12 months. Bye-bye. They die from various ways and means. But so, but going back to getting help, I think, and I get it. Listen, it's not easy to say I need help. I don't want to ask for help landscaping. I don't want to ask for help hanging a photo. Especially us guys. We'd rather die than admit we have a problem. But there's shame to that. I think to say, like, especially us men and women too. But I think more, I'm a man. I can't talk about for anybody else. But I think us men, we're supposed to be tough and hey, I got it. Hey, not a problem. But your family, they know you have a problem and they just rather stick their head in the sand. And you know what? You're paying the bills and things aren't great, but you deserve better. Your family deserves better. So, if you're not going to tell me that you go to your yearly physical and your blood work comes back just fine, come on, stop. It's hurting you. So, I'm going to touch on this too, that you have two things you can do to help yourself. Okay. You can get online and have a thing called the internet. No one will know. And you can look up Alcoholics Anonymous. Okay. And, or you can go to, they have apps. They have betterhelp.com and talkspace.com. These fucking people should be paying me for this because they're not, but I use betterhelp.com, by the way. I highly recommend it. And it's just online therapy. You can, it's FaceTime therapy or text therapy or phone call therapy. And it's very affordable. I highly recommend it. And I use it for my stress and anxiety, which is, I didn't want to admit that I had that problem. I was like, no, fine. I'm fine. I got it. I didn't have it. I need to talk to somebody. And so talk therapy is very, very powerful. And if you look at the studies out there, it's more powerful than taking prescription drugs. Now, I'm not saying, follow your doctor's orders, whatever, but so if you're drinking weekly, you need to find another way to wind down. You need to find another way to cope with life, and I can say this, like, I was very, very ashamed that I needed help because I'm DJ Tony. I own a business. I'm a good looking guy. Ladies love me. I'm making money. Hey, I got my shit together. Well, people who have their shit together, you need a team around you. You need advisors, help. Now, you can talk to your priest, your rabbi, your imam. Talking to your wife, or your husband, or boyfriend, girlfriend, or friend, that's not bad, but you really need a third party, neutral, somebody who's been trained. And when you go on a BetterHelp or Talkspace, you can choose therapists that specialize in alcohol or specialize in stress or specialize in family or you can choose a male therapist, a female therapist, a Christian therapist, a Muslim therapist, whatever. It's awesome. I can't say enough. You should do it. And like I said, I don't even drink, but I'm telling you, I'm going to therapy though too, on and off when I feel like I need it. But you need to do this too. You have family, you have kids, you have friends. You deserve better. You deserve healthier. This is your life. It matters, and you deserve all the good things, and you can have that, but not at the bottom of a glass of wine or beer or vodka or that's not where the help is. That's not where the health is. That's not where the happiness is. Okay. That's destroying you, and it's destroying the people around you. And again, I'm not talking about you had a toast for New Year's Eve or, once a year. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the weekly consumption of alcohol. It's ruining your health. It's ruining your family. You're teaching your family, this is what we do. That's not what you do. You can stop it, and you deserve to stop it. And you deserve better. So, I want to tell you a story. And I'm talking also to the families here who have someone in our lives that is struggling with alcohol. Now, it could be like they're struggling, or they can kind of maybe sort of tiny bit struggling. Like you see them always, having alcohol, and you're worried maybe their performance at work is not as good, or maybe, you see like, oh, wow, they're not healthy. They're putting on some weight. They have high blood pressure. Their triglycerides are high, so my thing is, why wait to the car accident? So okay, I want to tell you a story. So many years ago, a friend of mine, I found out, was an alcoholic. He was supposed to do some work for me and whatever, and so he winded up, there was a problem. He didn't do the work, right? And I wanted to beat the shit out of this guy, but I don't know, something came over me. I don't know what, because I'm no trained professional and I'm no saint. But I was like, you know what? I called this son of a bitch. I go, listen, you got a problem. I go, you know what? I don't want to curse the darkness. I want to light the flame. I said, I didn't say that to him, but I said this to him. I said, dude, next week, I am going to AA. Me. Okay. Guy doesn't drink. I'm signing myself up to go to AA. And mother effer, you're coming with me. Okay. That's it. And I thought he was going to give me an argument. He's like, okay. I was like, oh, that went better than I thought. So we went to AA together. So I'm imploring you also, the loved ones, if you love your brother, sister, mother, father, cousin, friend, colleague, yes, it's good that you talk to them, but action speaks louder than words. And you can do this for them. Say, listen, not we should go, you think you should. I signed up, I am going, and I have a special guest seat. You're going to come with me. Okay, I'll pick you up. Let's go together. Put it to them. Because now they don't want to go, they don't want to go. But more than likely, eventually they're going to go. Don't give up on them. So, because alcoholism and alcohol drinking weekly is not just the alcoholic or the alcohol person's problem. It's all of our problems, especially if you're living with the person, so it's a team effort. So instead of just talking or ignoring it, hey, listen, I'm going to sign up, or I signed up for a class, or I signed up for BetterHelp or Talkspace. I want you to, you're going to come with me. Okay. Like, be the leader on that if you can, or find someone that can say this to this person, speak truth to power. And I had that happen to me too, when I was struggling a while back too with my stress and anxiety, and I'm keeping it very short, but someone in my life said, you need help. And I was like, no, I'm fine. And it was very humbling. I felt like a shitbag. I felt like a loser, but the irony is this: once you admit you have the problem, you cured 50% of this problem. And now you have agency. You just became powerful. So that's the irony of it. Ignoring it or acting like, or I'm going to muscle through it. No, true power is, and somewhere in the Bible it says, and I'm no theologian, but those who humble themselves shall be exalted. And pride comes before the fall. So if you want to be better, stronger, happier, just admit it to the mirror. Start off with that. Say, I have a problem, and loved ones can say gently and lovingly too, hey, listen, I love you. I think you have a problem, and again, I'm not talking about the dude that's like obviously you got a problem, but I'm talking about like, hey man, every friggin' night you drink, or every other night you drink, and on the weekends you're going out with the girls, the boys, and I don't remember a week where you didn't drink. You know what? Let's get ahead of this, So yeah, I went to AA, and I'm sitting there in the circle, and it was just surreal, And now this friend of mine, I say friend loosely, we're besties, but I think he's doing well today. We're not close anymore, but the word on the street is he's doing good, So I'm like, wow, and I like to think that I had a tiny part in it, And again, nothing's a silver bullet, nothing's a cure all, but you put together and you stack odds in your favor, and so ignoring it is not stacking odds in your favor. Acting like it ain't happening is not tomorrow, the New Year's. No. Now, mother effer, now it starts, so you deserve this. You deserve health, happiness, strength. If you think you're happy now, you're gonna be a lot happier off of alcohol, period. So this person is, I believe, doing well, but I mean, it's a team effort, really, for anyone. And if it's not alcohol, it could be money problems, it could be whatever problems. Like when you care about somebody, you don't want to be in their business, but if you're living with them, hey man, I love you. Like, call me wrong, but I'm signing us up for AA. We're going to go together, or I'm getting the app and I'm going to take therapy. You come with me, like even if you don't need it. You know what I mean? Because again, the collateral damage from alcohol is. And again, we're not talking about just slamming the car into the tree. We're talking about liver cancer, pancreatic cancer, throat cancer, bad hair, bad skin, bad nails, excessive weight gain. Like you're slowly slamming your car into the tree. Okay, moving on. I got a lot of notes here. I would also say this, like the old me used to look at people who drank like, oh, look at that shitbag drinking, drunk. Oh my God. Like I didn't understand, and then you lose a few friends and family, and then you see shit happen. And so I want to say, like, alcoholism or alcohol consumption weekly, it's a type of disease. It's not cancer. It's not like cancer, but it's a type of disease. And in many ways, it's harder because it's invisible. You can't see it. You can't grab it. It's not like, oh, I see the tumor. Let's remove the tumor. Like, it's an invisible devil. And it's insidious, and it moves like a boa constrictor. You think you're fine, but before you know it, you can't even breathe. And so alcoholism is a disease, and I think we should look at our loved ones like that. Don't hate them. Don't shit on them. And they may go to therapy and fail. That's okay. It's okay to fail. I always say God's going to judge us by how many times we stand up, not how many times we fall. Die trying. That's that. So I mean, yeah, die trying. You're worth it. Your family's worth it. Your kids are worth it. Your friends are worth it. And don't be ashamed, because it's easy to say don't be ashamed, because even I was ashamed going to therapy. Like I'd walk into the offices like, a mustache and shit, like not like that, but therapy for, like I said, my stress and anxiety. But I mean, yeah, it's a disease. And when you look at it like that, you have more empathy you have more love, and you can do tough love, and it's not going to be easy. Nothing in life that's worth anything is easy. You know what I'm saying? But it's worth the fight. It's worth the failure. It's worth getting back up. It's worth getting back up. It's worth getting back up. Be that for your kids. Be that for your friends. Wow, man, this mother effort's a tough son of a bitch. They keep on getting back up. This woman, this man. That's that. Dying like that is noble. Like, man, they went down swinging versus, yeah, they just going down like a pity show. You can do it. I have faith in you. I know you can do it. And no, I'm not better than you. No one's better than you. If that person can do it, you can do it. No questions about that. I'm not trying to pump you up, but I hope I am pumping you up though. Not like that. All right. So in closing, what else? I have my notes, copious notes. So so in closing, what I want to say is that us men, typically men, we're horrible at getting help, but women too, but men are worse. So let's review. Alcoholics Anonymous. Go on the computer, find the number. Talkspace or BetterHelp phone app. Don't put up with someone's that's drinking casually weekly. Don't put up with that shit because you love them, but love them, have empathy for them. People are drinking, again, like any drug. They're drinking for really 2 or 3 reasons: to escape, to do therapy. It's an escape, alcohol, or, well, it's an escape. I mean, I don't even know, it's almost like, and of course you feel, I guess the second reason is you get caught in that loop and it's a habit. And, if you're going to get a habit, get addicted to broccoli and carrots and juicing. You know what I mean? Like, that I think a lot of it too is subconscious in the sense of it's a tactile fixation and oral fixation, meaning like you have a drink in your hand, and if even myself, I don't drink, but when I go out once in a while to a bar or a club, like I feel like I have to have a drink in my hand. Like you feel like a loser. Hey, wait, are you not drinking? Well, yeah, but anyways, so, what else? Yeah, I mean, I think we control, our destiny in our lives. And again, but when you're drinking and you put that drink in you, now the drink controls you. But like I said, I hope this helps. I've lost friends and family to beer, wine, sangria, whiskey, rum, vodka. It's just, yeah, 140,000 Americans every 12 months, so, and then again, that's not count. Maybe it is counting possibly, but cancer deaths and deaths from liver problems and all different things like that. I know it might seem daunting, but yeah, it's easy for me to say don't be ashamed, but I understand there is shame in it, and you're human. That's okay, but step by step, and anyways, so I hope this helps. I know you can do it. I have faith in you. Nothing is easy, but you're worth it. Your family's worth it. And it's time to turn it around. Not for the new year, now, and small steps. You don't have to, go run the marathon. First crawl, then walk. But maybe start off with looking in the mirror and saying, just to yourself, like, I have a problem. Even if you don't think you have a problem, you have a problem. But let's pretend you have a problem. Just say to yourself, I have a problem. Just do that. Can't hurt, and then from there, you don't have to hold a press conference, but it's I want you to be healthy. You deserve to be healthier, happier, stronger, smarter, better. A better life is not having any alcohol. That's a better life. That's a better life for you, your friends, your family, your loved ones. And anyways, so okay, my man, my girl, everyone out there. What can I tell you? Like I said, I hope this starts a conversation. I hope it starts the ball rolling. Like I said, I believe in you. I know you can do it, and you're going to do it. Okay, everyone. Thank you. I'm out of here. 5, 4, 3, 2,